Hi, how's everybody doing? Um, I have something to share, and it's kind of interesting. I guess I'll find out who watches these or not, because not that many people know. I want to talk about the power of prayer. I was noticing as I was reading back in my journal how it talked about, I had I'd made a comment that I thanked, I was so grateful for people's prayers because I knew people's prayers helping me through a trial. And I thought, as I read that, I thought, how do I know their prayers were helping me? Like, how do I know it was their prayers? How do I know it just wasn't, Christ helping me? How do I know it was their prayers? I'm going to tell you how I know personally it was their prayers. So, it was the end of the year, just now. It was the end of the year, and right before the end of the year, you have your insurance, you've reached your out-of-pocket maximum or whatever, so you're trying to make doctor's appointments, right? And I have these bumps, and they're called lipomas, and I don't know, my family's weird. We have them. You go to the dermatologist, and they cut them out, and it happens. Whenever they get annoying, you finally go and get them cut out, because then it's annoying. You have stitches and stuff. So I haven't had them removed in a while, and I thought, oh, it's the end of the year. It's like on my mind. It's on my mind. I need to do this. So I go, and I haven't been to a dermatologist since we've been here, and so I needed to find one, and my friend has suggested one, and like I said, it wasn't something that was kind of on my mind. Like, I was kind of obsessed with it, like, get this done before the end of the year. So I get on their website, and the closest they have appointment in December is like an hour drive, and it's in downtown Houston. And I'm like, you know what, but I need to get this appointment done before January, before my insurance goes back up. And so I make the appointment, and I go and I meet with the dermatologist. And she's, okay, we can do this. And then she goes, why don't we, since you're here, why don't we just do a full body check? You haven't been to the dermatologist in so many years, probably like 4 or 5 years. So why don't we just do one? And I'm like, sure. So she does a full body check. And there was a mole on kind of like almost the back of my leg, kind of the back of my knee, right about where my knee is. But it's on the back side of my leg where I can't see it. And she goes, I do not like the look of this mole. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. She's like, I'm going to just remove it. And I'm like, great, remove it. So she goes and she removes the mole. And, we think nothing of it. We set up an appointment for like in 2 weeks to get my lipomas removed because I was going to go out of town and stuff. And so we set up the appointment and then, think nothing on it. And we get on with our lives. Well, all of a sudden out of nowhere, a week later, I get a call, and it's my doctor. And the mole had come back, and it was melanoma. And it was cancerous. And she wanted to remove more of my mole, or, remove the skin around it and make sure it hasn't spread. Well, I don't know how many of you know the story of my first husband, but that's how it all started. We had a mole removed, and they said, oh, it's melanoma. Come back in. Let us, we got to take a centimeter around everywhere and remove it. Well, she called me on Tuesday, and I was flying out of town on Thursday to go speak in Boise. And she called me, and it just hit me out of nowhere because it just happened that all the dates lined up. These were the dates for when Rob was diagnosed. I mean, the exact same dates. Friday was the day he was sick, on the 14th, and 15th on that Saturday is when he was in the hospital. And so these dates were all lined up, and I was going and speaking, so I was preparing for that, and it was shocking news, and I was having a hard time comprehending it, and so I didn't tell anybody. I called, my husband at work. I called Steve and told him, and just, she goes, you have an appointment, because I was going out of town, and then, so she goes, you have an appointment, let's keep that appointment, you can come in and we'll remove it. She goes, but this is something serious, we need to get it done as soon as you're back in town. And I went in town, and we were seeing family. We were seeing my husband's family, and I was seeing my mom, and I didn't want it at all. I didn't I don't know. I didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to burden anybody with it. I didn't want to, and so I didn't tell anybody. And only, I told my kids here, and I still haven't told my missionary because I didn't want him to worry. And the only reason why I ended up telling my kids was because I was, these were stitches on my legs and I'd have to be in bed for a couple of days. I couldn't get up and move around. And that was honestly the only reason why I told my kids. And they were a little upset, except for my daughter, Ellie, who went, I don't see. Anyways, that's a whole nother video. But so I went through it and nobody knew. So my point about prayer is this. I went through it and I'm up in bed for the next couple of days. And my good friend comes to bring me over a Christmas gift. And Steve's like, she's in bed. She's like, it's 4 p.m. First of all, Steve, why are you home from work? Second of all, why is Patti in bed? And she comes in. And again, like I said, I had told her, and she just, hugged me and just, I'm so sorry you had to go through this. I'm so sorry, and just, give me loves. The point is I actually felt the absence of prayer. Sometimes we don't want to share our trials because I understood that. I didn't want to burden anybody. I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to avoid it. But then I had nobody. I had nobody to strengthen me or for me to lean on. Does that make sense? And so I think sometimes I don't want to burden anybody with this. I don't want to, I understand there's a line. I mean, I think my kids would say I probably share far too much. And I think that's probably, I could hear that voice, especially when my one daughter responded, oh, who cares? It's not a big deal. But you're right, it wasn't a big deal. But it was just because of everything that Rob had gone through. Those exact same things. And those exact same dates and everything, that it was a big deal. Steve had told his parents one night, because we got the test back and everything's fine. I mean, we knew it would be. I mean, we were pretty sure they would be. And they sent me a card, and they just said, Patti, I understand, you didn't want to tell anybody, but we're sad we couldn't have prayed for you at that time. We couldn't tell you how much we love you. And that's where it hit me. I didn't give people the opportunity to share. I didn't give, or to serve. I didn't give people the opportunity to serve me or to love me. And I actually needed that. Does that mean, I was so lonely over Christmas because I didn't want to make a big deal about it, but because I didn't talk about it or anything, and we just kind of act like nothing happened, I just needed, if I'd shared, I could have gotten love. I know it sounds silly, but I now understand why we all need each other and to help each other. And I know, oh my goodness, I know there are times I haven't been there when I've been asked to be there for family. And I haven't been there for them, supported them. So trust me on this. I have failed this. So I'm not saying, again, but I'm just saying the power of prayer is real. The support and love we have for each other, don't underestimate that. Don't underestimate that people are there to help. That all of us are angels to help, strengthen, encourage, love. And that prayer does work. And so I feel silly for saying this, and I feel silly that everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything came back and it's all good. So no worries. But let people help. Let people know when you're going through something hard. It doesn't make you stronger or to suffer alone. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised at how much people can help. Just even by listening. I am so thankful for family, for friends. And I'm glad I learned this lesson with something that was minor. That I know. We all need help and we all need to help each other. So let's do that. It's okay. It's okay to admit you're scared. It's okay to admit you're struggling. It's okay to say that there's something going on. Because we're here to help each other. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And again, thank you. Thank you for the continuous support I get. If you like this video, please share. If you like all the videos, if you follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on YouTube and watch the videos. And let me know what you want to hear. And so that we can help each other through this. Again, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks.